Whether you're in North or South Carolina or anywhere else in the world, enter the Cat Cave with D. White and Shannon Smith, a part of the Keep Pounding Podcast Network, powered by the Fanstone Sports Only Network, where you can find shows such as Winning the Division, Inside the Vault, and Believe in Panthers. Welcome back yet again to the Cat Cave. We're here on another Wednesday live for Panthers Nation. Let us introduce ourselves. I'm Shannon Smith, aka Podcast Smitty, representing Western North Carolina, and I'm joined by the Beast from the Northeast, North Carolina, D. White. My brother, what's going on? How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Enjoying this heat wave we got going. Uh, it's all good, man. How about
I hear
yourself?
you. I hear you. Willie, what's up, cuz? Yeah, see, Willie's my cuz, man. I'm just playing. That's a joke right there. But I'm
Big
going to have
Willie.
Willie. Willie's my cuz right there.
Oh,
He's been active in the comments on the last show. And you ain't lying, Willie. That film crew that Carolina's got, oh, it's mad. It's like that. It's like that, man. It was beautiful. Yes. So, what we got for the show today, D is going to handle the current news for the Carolina Panthers. And we got a treat for you guys. I was going through online and I saw a list, a very interesting list that we're going to talk about today, which is the top 10 Carolina Panthers that are currently on the roster, the top 10 players who are the best from 10 to 1. And we're going to talk about that on the show. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to D and we're going to talk a little current news right now. So, take it away, man.
yo. All right, so a couple quick points we're going to hit. See, FanFest was announced to be Saturday, August 2nd this year. Tickets will be on sale July 11th for $5. So if you're in that area, you're a fan of the team, feel free, spend $5, go see the team, go have fun. If you're a part of the Roaring Riot, they usually out there doing their thing, so have fun. The team has been posting a lot of content regarding Trevon Merrick, J.C. Horn, Tetairoa McMillan, as well as they posted a workout from Minnesota, which I believe Adam Thielen does his foundation. He lives in Minnesota, all that good stuff. And in that photo, we had Bryce Young, Adam Thielen, Jimmy Horn, T-Mac, Jatavion Sanders, David Moore, Xavier Leggett, and Kobe Hudson. So, I mean, it seems like our wide receiver group is just all about grinding and hustling. It's good to see finally. On top of that, we got Xavier Leggett continuing his media and training tour, displaying workouts with Debo Samuel as well as the Route God. And it was put out another list, the top 10 defensive tackles in the NFL, and our All-Pro defensive tackle was not up there. Now, they gave him leeway because of his injury, but ordinarily he'd be a top 10 defensive tackle, being Derrick Brown, obviously. And last but not least, CBS seemingly hates the Carolina Panthers because Garrett Podell, I might be saying his name wrong, I apologize, of CBS Sports stated that in a July 7th article that the Panthers are less likely to make the playoffs this year due to problems on defense. Now, he noted Derrick Brown's injury, the league-wide worst defense in 2024 that everybody always brings up. We know. You don't have to keep reminding us. And how the Panthers did a good job of fortifying the defense with Wharton, Brown III, Jones II, Merrick, Scorton, and Uman. Now, according to Podell, the Falcons, Bears, Colts, and Jets will likely make it, but no Panthers. Yeah. I don't see how the Falcons make the playoffs at all. And it's not no shade, no hate. They were just in a terrible situation just like us. Their defense just underwhelmed. They're dealing with problems on offense with Kyle Pitts, with Michael Penix Jr. I mean, they got some things going on too. So it was a little surprising to see the Falcons as well as the Bears, even though they rebuilt their offensive line, and the Jets, who they just seem like a franchise that's having a lot of problems over the last few years. So that's my current news.
And that's very interesting. I like what you pulled there. Fan Fest. That's actually pretty cool. Like my family has been to Fan Fest. My niece was actually, I think, in one of the videos when she was smaller, doing the tackling. It was pretty cool. It was cool seeing that. Then, talking about Minnesota, bringing Minnesota into the open practices there. Adam Thielen, where he began, and that was pretty cool. But that last part, that last bit of news right there, that kind of got me. I think you're right. CBS might have a little beef with the Panthers on that one. Putting it, we're going to leave all the other teams alone because, just like Carolina and all the other teams in the National Football League, there were additions and deletions to those teams. And we don't know because, once again, games are played on paper, never. They're played on the field. So, on paper, teams look good. Everybody looks good on paper. Of course, that's just how it goes. But when you put it on the field and you put it all together, that's where you find out who is who. Now, I get it. There's been times where we had the hype. And, we look great. We look great. We look great. Training camp. All this stuff. We look great. I get it. And there's been times where we looked really, really good and went out there, didn't do well. But Carolina's not the only team that's done that. There have been other teams that have done that too. They've looked well on paper, look good, and then go out there, not so good. So I get it. I understand it. I know that Carolina's they've made improvements. I think this year this team will be different. I believe that they will. 5-12, they improved from the year before. They improved 5-12. This year is all about improvement, and there's room for improvement everywhere. So I can kind of make questions about some of those teams that they were talking about will make the playoffs other than the Panthers. I get it. But that's not what we're here for today. We are here to talk about this list. Top 10 current Carolina Panther players. Now, just to go ahead and put it out there, this is on Panthers Wire. This was put up in June 22nd. I believe this is a way too early list, but that's okay because we got time to look at this and we might assess this later on in the middle of the year and maybe at the end of the year. We will see where everything goes. So we will go ahead and begin it. So we'll begin with number 10. And number 10 is a player that's making his debut this year. Talking about Deshaun Wharton from the Kansas City Chiefs, defensive lineman, 6'1", 280-pounder. Spent most of his career with the Kansas City Chiefs. His 5 years with the Kansas City Chiefs. Known for his persistent pass rushing, which is something that Carolina needed to improve in this offseason. Get the ground running with that. Of course, Milton Williams, was a player that Carolina was looking to get. He ended up going to the New England Patriots. But looking at Deshaun Wharton, he ain't a bad consolation prize. So, D, what do you think?
I can't argue with it. I mean, he's definitely a top 10 player right now. I mean, our team's young. Our team is unproven. Like you said, the football is played on the field, not on paper. He's a great signing. Tree trunks for legs. He's strong. He looks fast. He's played solid for a championship team, and the Panthers were able to go get him. I am not mad at it.
I like it as well, too, because, once again, pass rushing, getting to the quarterback is going to be key for this Carolina Panthers team, is getting to the quarterback. We have quarterbacks in this league, in this division, because my main goal, and I don't know about anybody else, but my main goal for this Carolina Panthers team is to win the division. That to me is big, is winning the division. Shout out to my man Ryan Smith on Tobacco Road. Winning the division is key because if we don't win the division, then what are we going to do with anybody else?
Right.
Start by beating Atlanta twice, Tampa Bay twice, the Saints twice. We'll get to everyone else. But those games are the most important and the most pertinent games for the Carolina Panthers. And there's a good chance that it can be done this year with the way this team has improved. So we go from the defensive line to the offensive line.
That's
and our number 9 player, Akeem Ekwonu, at number 9, had a very good rookie year in 2022. Had what you call a sophomore slump the year after that. But in year 3, he looks to do a little something right here. This line has gotten better. New offensive line coach this past season, Joe Gilbert. He did very well on the offensive line, playing that left tackle position, former 6th-round pick. Akeem Ekwonu, looking at that blind side of Bryce Young, very important position on the offensive line. He is the number 9 top player, the number 9 player on this current Panthers roster. What do you say?
I'm surprised. I didn't have him anywhere on my top 10. And
really?
That's not being a hater. It's just being that I can tell you, honestly, like 9, 10 other guys that I think are better than him. And I'm not even going to say he's better than Tershawn Wharton. So, I mean, you think he's better than Rico Dowdle?
Hard to say. But Dowdle ran the ball effectively in Dallas. And
they had a trash line.
And took the load later. He took the load later after that, too. Mm-hmm. Because there was dysfunction in that backfield. And then, of course, with Dak getting hurt, it was another thing. So I would, I get it. I absolutely get it. But Ekwonu, and you're right, no shade at all. I understand that. But Ekwonu, I believe, has something to prove yet again.
Definitely.
Being a younger tackle. And, of course, this is another thing also, too. And we'll get to this later on because we'll be talking about the quarterback position later on. But with this happening and being on Bryce's blind side, the way that offense, the way the offense went through quarterbacks last year, and it all started with the offensive line. When the line got better, you saw better production from the quarterback position. And Ekwonu being such a young guy, this will help. But there's going to be pressure on that line yet again because the line did better than what everyone thought, and they got better.
For sure.
And they had they got through the progression. So yes.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's no shade, no hate. I want him to succeed, but he's been a little bit up and down. You got to show me that you're not the weak spot on the offensive line, and justify being the 9th best player on this team. I at the moment don't see him being top 10. I want him to be. I just don't see it.
I understand. I mean, I definitely get it. And to me, he was probably 11 on my 20 plays. He'd probably be 11 for me. So I get that. I understand. And so, number 8, going back to the defense now. Once again, another newcomer at the safety position, Trayvon Moehrig.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm very, very, very intrigued by him. I'm very intrigued by him. He has potential to be a very good defensive player and somebody who can be plugged in on this defense anywhere. Playing the nickel corner, playing the safety. playing both safeties, as a matter of fact. That deep third of the field, him covering that, but also to coming in as that ninth man in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, the mentality of this defense is what has to be key because this is the culture. I mean, looking at the defensive players that Carolina has had and the defenses that Carolina has had, the 8 and 9 men in the box that Carolina has had, he has a lot of potential to be that guy. Said he's looked at as the chess piece for the defense. Effective cover defender at the single high spot, roll down to the box, or mug a gap and take on blockers on the point of attack and stifle the run. Very good athlete, high intelligence. Did he crack your top 10?
Yes. Like, we got to be careful how we call these people chess pieces. Now, granted, I think he definitely is a chess piece, but they said the same thing about Jeremy Chin, and they let him just sit in the toy box. Like, but Trevon Merrick, I believe he could fit our system the same way Kurt Coleman fit a few years ago when we had a run. Trevon Merrick is somebody that, again, I think I said this in a couple episodes prior. I've been a fan of him since TCU, and this gentleman is a baller. Wherever you put him, where you want him as a deep safety, you want him chasing the quarterback. You want him as your Buffalo nickel, your nickel cornerback, whatever. You got to account for him. He's that caliber of a player, and the simple fact that his team didn't want to lose him, well, his former team, Las Vegas Raiders, didn't want to let him go. We had to pay a little luxury tax to get him, but he's somebody that I could see being just as dominant a chess piece as J.C. Horn. If they could both stay healthy, there's no reason why this team can't be a dominant secondary.
I believe that. I think you're right, because once again, getting to the quarterback, getting to the quarterback is key for Carolina, but yet still also too, that coverage is another thing. Getting that quarterback space is going to make that ball come out sloppy. It's going to make that ball lose a couple seconds when that receiver is running that fade or running that slant or running that post pattern. That ball might not get there in time. So guess what? Turnovers. And also, too, when you got run-heavy squads, when you put that 8-9 man in the box and you make that team, like, for example, in Atlanta Falcons squad, that's got a Bijan Robinson back there that they don't even use. They don't use that kid. And it's sad. I tell you, it's a daggum shame they don't use that kid.
It's been a high draft pick, not easy.
And I don't understand, because, okay, I understand that Kirk Cousins was doing his thing. The Kirk Coach Chains thing was funny and it was cool, for Kirk Cousins. But then Kirk Cousins went out there and started throwing picks. And he started making ill-advised decisions. And then he got hurt. And then he got benched. And we got Penix Jr. in. He's a young guy. And no shade to him, because we don't really know what he's capable of, at least not yet.
Right.
But yet and still, doesn't matter. Playing for it. Go get him. That's the main thing. Get in his face. Let him get happy feet. And let him throw that ball a little late.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of our problems. I mean,
yes.
We couldn't. Our defensive line was, for lack of better words, trash. I mean, everybody was hurt. We're playing backups. We're playing third stringers. We can't generate a pass rush, and it puts so much pressure on our secondary. The hope is now that, we got I don't want to say superior defensive line, but a better defensive line than what we've been used to over the last few years. The hope is they get that pass rush, make the quarterback uncomfortable. We got the players that can actually pick the ball off, that are fast enough, that are smart enough, that have great timing, that can get the ball and get our offense back on the field.
Absolutely. And that is key and that is important for this defense. So Trayvon Merrick at number 8, and then we go to number 7. Once again, going back to that offensive line, we got Damian Lewis.
Justified.
He was a major add-on for that line in 2024. 6'2", 327 pounds. Being a piece on that offensive line, I definitely had him. I think I had him kind of in the top 5. Honestly, I had him in the top 5. I think that he did very well last year.
Oh yeah, I mean, we can't really compare it to much else other than well, we did have a good football team, and over the last few years, just the guard positions haven't been up to par. Not only did we get somebody that I'm pretty sure we're going to mention later, we got Damian Lewis from the Seahawks, who's been a bully. Dude's strong, dude's smart. He's a leader. I mean, they have plenty of clips with him leading the huddles or breaking the huddle because he's a leader. He's a bully. We haven't had that in a while. We've had people that have been getting run over. I am not mad at this pick.
Good, because I feel the same way, and you are right, because coming from the offense that we had with a able runner named Chuba Hubbard, with how well he ran last year, with the inconsistency in the line. But when the line got better, Chuba's game got better. So what can we say? And I think that Dame was big for us on that line. Dame was big for us on that line, and that helped. And the passing game should get better with guys like him on the line, moving defenders around in that passing protection. And then later on, now that we've got 2 runners in the backfield that can make plays and yards per carry come in, and fighting for those inches are going to be big and we're going to be key. This is going to be good, and I like it. So Dame is number 7, and then we go to number 6. We're staying on the offensive line. Taylor Moton at number 6, Mr. Consistent. They called him right there, but he missed a little bit of 2024. 30 years old, has some experience. He can play on that right tackle spot. What do you think, D?
It's justified. Again, same as our last guy we just mentioned, Damian Lewis. He is a ultra smart tackle. Somebody that, if the whole line's playing good, you already know he's playing good. Somebody you could run behind, pretty good pass defender, or both, you could say. Taylor Moton has been the best player on a shaky offensive line for a while. And now that we're getting a top 15, arguably top 10 offensive line, he's still one of the best. I mean, credit to that man being 30 years old and still leading a bunch of kids and showing them how it's done. I mean, he 30, dealing with a little bit of injury, still playing at a high level. And to take something you just said, having 2 runners in the backfield, now you got to cover the running backs. You got Timo, you got Damian Lewis, you got Ikem Ekwonu. You got a pretty good offensive line that these guys can run around, run through, run past, everything. That's going to open it up for another person that I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about as well. But this offensive line has upside. Plenty of upside, plenty of confidence going into the next season with how they finished off last year.
Right. So that's great. Good to hear. And the fact that he's healthy, coming back.
That's the best part.
That's the big thing. So Timo going at number 6. And guys, this is where the rubber meets the road. We're in the middle of the list. And number 5 is our quarterback, Bryce Young. Now, let me go ahead and be the first to say I was tough on Bryce last year. I was very tough on him. And the sitting down, the sabbatical, once again, go back to what Rich Eisen said, the sabbatical for Bryce Young turned out to be something good for him. Now, looking at his rookie year was very shaky, went with a lot of moments, but yet Bryce did throw 10 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Does it cut the mustard? I get it. But it's the rookie year. And year 2 came. Added on pieces, things of that nature. Yeah, here we are. Okay, we're hearing it. We're like, okay, it'll be better this year, be better this year. Didn't look good in that first part of the year, and then it got better. And when Bryce came in, after coming off that bench, after playing better, later on as the season came, the game came to him. His 10-game stretch to the end of the campaign showed he could be a franchise quarterback. The poise in the pocket, the navigational skills, the accuracy, and the anticipation. All I can say is what I want to see more of is Bryce Young throwing that ball and turning around and doing this. And so either Ted or Thielen, one of those guys coming down with it, Leggett, coming down with that pass. That's what I want to see. And they're putting guys around them, giving them pieces in the passing game and in the running game too. So what you think, D?
It's warranted. I mean, I feel like his rookie season should have like an asterisk next to it. Like, offensive line got him sacked a league high amount of times for a rookie. I think it was historic, actually. His wide receivers were highlighted by DJ Chark. They couldn't get a good running game because the offensive line wasn't that great. Dude was a Heisman winner from Alabama, one of the smartest quarterbacks that they talked about. Didn't even have to participate in the draft combine. They knew he was going to be number 1. And you put him on one of the worst teams in the NFL. Because obviously, if you're the top quarterback taken, you're probably going to one of the worst teams. Now, throw all of that and add in the coach that they chose, Big Frank, who seemed like he was a little out of his element when he was coaching. Gave up play calling duties, took it right back. It's no consistency. Then his second year, he had no confidence. Man just got hit a historic amount of times for a rookie, and you expect him to bounce back and be that top number 1 pick. Dude, Trevor Lawrence had a garbage first season too. Nobody talks about that. They just got him pieces. Bryce is in year 3, and he's finally getting those same pieces that Trevor Lawrence got. He's more consistent than Anthony Richardson. He has better weapons now than C.J. Stroud. This man has a competent front office now. And I'm just talking about off the field stuff. Now he has good players around him, people that can catch the ball. You know how many highlights I've seen of the Panthers, and everybody's blaming Bryce for the throw, but the wide receiver dropped the ball?
Yes.
Or they're talking about it's a timing issue, and you can see that some of the wide receivers just gave up. Bryce Young was never the problem. His confidence, maybe. He has all the talent in the world. But if you get this man beat up every year, and he finally gets a decent group of guys to play with, the last 10 games show that he could be a high-level quarterback.
Yes.
Dude deserves to be a top 10. Now, granted, I wouldn't get him at 5 because he still has a lot to show, but he deserves to be on this list.
Yes.
Now, that's my little tangent. I got a little angry. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I get it. And I understand because see, you would have been mad at me the first 3 games of the season when I was like, get rid of this guy, it's over, it's a wrap, it's done. And then they hand it over to Andy. Andy wins, and then it's like, yes, here we are. Yes, get rid of the guy. But you know what? And I look at it like this too. The quick game, because CJ Stroud, he jumped out in his rookie year and got to the playoffs. Man, and the fanfare in Houston, and Houston got it right. And man, Houston got it right. And then later on, he started to digress as well too. And it wasn't just him, it was his team as well too. The guys got hurt. It is what it is. And it's a physical game. Things happen. But also too, there was some times in there where that team wasn't having the synergy. And I'm glad you brought up Trevor Lawrence. I'm so glad you brought that up because here's Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence got paid.
Mm-hmm.
He got paid on top of that too. So we can't sit around here, and he won a playoff game. Yes, he got to the playoffs, got Jacksonville to the playoffs. I get it. Got a game won. I get it. But also too, after that, what else has it been? So it looks like it's a slow build. And if Carolina does well this year, they might look and say, hey, it was a slow build. Because sometimes the slow build is good. Sometimes it's good to not get it early and not to throw it all away early. Crowning him, oh, he's the man right now. He's the man. And then later on, when he has the troubles, like all players do in a career, then the people are going to be ready to throw him out later. And you never know, because throwing him out later and throwing him out earlier, who gets some trade value, and then they'll trade the guy away. And then he goes to another team, and he might flourish and he might not. So I get it. And Bryce does deserve to be on this list. He does. Absolutely. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. He deserves to be on this list, yes. And he has a lot of upside to him with all these players that we're going to be listing. I believe he is one of those players that has the most upside to him. And I think we'll see it. I think we will.
We have a better chance of seeing it this year than we have the last 2 years.
That's a fact. I mean, with the guys that are added on, because once again, we can't sit here and chunk it on the team now. With this, now it's going to be like, hey, we get they got guys. You have guys. Put offensive linemen around you. Put receivers around you. Put running backs in the backfield. All right, now we're running out of excuses. It's you now.
Definitely.
So this is it. And now we get to the fun part. We're on the back five. We're on that front five. We're on that front five now. We're going from 5 to 1. So now we're going to number 4. The every down back. The offense last year. The offense. Number 4. Chuba Hubbard. Chuba.
Oh, yeah.
1,195 yards and 10 touchdowns last year. He was in the top 5 in rushing yards at one point in time. He was the third most rushing yards in the league at one point in time. And no one knew because of where he played.
Mm-hmm.
And Chuba got paid. And rightfully so.
After he got paid, that was the best games of his career.
Yes. Ain't it funny how that goes?
Get that man his money.
Yes. And
that was great.
When Ryan was on the show with me, Ryan and I said, pay that man. There's no excuse to not pay that man. You pay him or you pay him. And rightfully so. So D, what you think, man?
Justified. Chuba, again, was the offense last year. Between him and Thielen, and most of the time, it was Chuba. Now, I hate it when we lost McCaffrey for pennies on the dollar because I didn't think he was ready, being honest. But he stepped up. and he stepped up big. Like,
Oh yeah.
it was, to me, it was unexpected.
Yes.
And he took the reins, he ran with it literally, and just became a mainstay. Now I hope they don't do what they did with Christian McCaffrey and continue to let him be the every down back.
Yes.
Give him some longevity. They did. They got Rico Dowdle. They got Jonathan can't think of his name. Brooks. Jonathan Brooks. They drafted Jonathan Brooks. Granted, he had an injury history. They should have brought him on a little bit slower. They gave him a chance. He showed that he could be a good complimentary back. He got hurt. And then we had Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders never really proved that he could, get those yards that we needed, unfortunately. Now he's in Dallas. I wish the best for him. But Chuba doesn't need to be an every down back. We got Rico Dowdle to replace Miles Sanders, and now we got a two-headed dragon. And both of them can give you 1,000 yards a season. Both of them can catch it out the backfield. And I believe just the addition of Rico Dowdle, the continuity, of the offensive line are going to help this man continue to flourish. Chuba deserves to be on this list. Nobody can tell me different. If anything, I think if he continues to get better, we're going to see him get paid maybe one more time.
Yes, I like it. So, with you saying Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard, so we're going to see this. We're going to see this again. We're going to see this again.
Man.
Are we going to see that?
We might. We might.
Oh,
Chuba's just that dude, man. You can't bet against him. He's gonna give it everything he got. He's a beast. He's a dog. He stays in the weight room. He stays on the field as much as you can let him. He's Mr. Consistent on offense right now. Other than Thielen, which I think he might have a little bit on Thielen when it comes to consistency. Yeah. So Chuba's that guy.
Absolutely, I couldn't have said it better. Chuba's the man. He did wonderful. Glad for him. Glad he got his payday. Glad he got his money. Let's get 1,300 this year. He got almost 1,200 yards. Get 1,300. I'm good with the 13. I'm good with 1,300. I'm good with 1,300 yards.
I think he can. I think he can because we played him so much. He was dinged up a couple times. Now that he got somebody running with him, he won't be as tired. Won't be as dinged up. Might better get us a few more yards out of him.
But I'd be cool with him getting 1,100 yards and more touchdowns. See, I'd be cool with that. Give me more touchdowns on that one.
I'd be cool if he got 900 yards and a couple more touchdowns. You got Rico Dowdle. Rico's gonna benefit.
6, baby. Get 6. And that's what I'm talking about.
Do your thing, Chuba.
Yes, Chuba Hubbard. Ladies and gentlemen, number 4. Number 3. Now, this list got very, very interesting. When I started looking at it, this list got very, very interesting because 3, 2, and 1, we really got to talk about right here. Number 3, Robert Hunt at number 3. You want to talk about setting the tone on the offense. You want to talk about physical specimen at 6'6", 323 pounds. Now, you talking about Dame being a bully. Robert Hunt, whoo. He's another one right there. Left and right too.
Oh yeah.
Interior line, interior offensive line. That's what you need. That's where Chuba earned his money.
Definitely did.
That's where he
right
earned
behind
his
Robert
money.
Hunt and Iquanu. Dogs.
Yes.
Dogs.
That's where Chuba earned his money. That's where Chuba got those touchdowns in that goal line. That's where this offense has got to flourish. Robert Hunt at number 3. You like that?
Yeah. He is the top-rated offensive player on this list. Whether you agree or disagree, this dude is a monster. And not only is he a road grader, is he a bully, as you put it, This dude is funny. No matter who gets the touchdown, he's running down there to celebrate with them. All the energy in the world. Robert Hunt is a culture setter. Robert Hunt is somebody you model your game behind, somebody you celebrate with, and somebody you go to war with. Robert Hunt's going to fight for you until he can't. And even if he can't, he's going to be on the sideline talking and showing a presence. And that's something that we've been missing for a long time.
I love it. Now that's what I'm talking about. I love it right there. So yes, perfect. Yeah, and you're right. He was in that end zone celebrating. He is a tone setting guy on that offense. Gets that huddle right. You know, be patient with Bryce and be patient with this young offense. You know, because we're gonna have a young receiver more than likely. Ted's probably gonna be starting either on that X or that Y. He's gonna be that big boy that's gonna be getting the ball. So, and then when that running game comes in with Chuba, close to 1,200 yards, Rico Dowdle, 1,000-yard rusher. Think we got something here with this line. Robert Hunt at number 3 and number 2. We got Money Man. We got Money Man himself, Mr. Money. J.C. Horn at number 2. You know, the injuries, we're going to talk about that. Of course, when J.C. Horn, they talk about that, the injuries, first 3 years. But 15 games he played in 2024. Got the 4-year, $100 million extension this offseason. But the thing with J.C. Horn that has to be understood is that sometimes your stats are reflected on the fact that they don't throw the ball near you.
Yes.
So with all that being considered, because the numbers is going to be what people are going to see, is the numbers. I get it. With a corner, now on the other hand, sometimes the numbers reflect how many times they say away from you. So I expect more than anything for JC to have a better season, of course. Getting his first Pro Bowl, maybe All-Pro consideration with the money that he was paid. And the fact that they decided to pay him shows that this team is behind him. So what you think, man?
No argument. Top 2 player on this team. JC, Mr. 8-ball, Mr. Seatbelt. Dude is, he embodies what a Panther is. He is probably one of, just in his short career, one of the best cornerbacks we've ever had. And that's putting a lot on it. But, I mean, again, his lack of stats you shouldn't hold that against him.
No.
The league recognizes this man as a top cornerback. They paid this man as a top cornerback because he is a top cornerback. You don't want to throw to him because you know either he's going to lock it up. Now, granted, he doesn't have many interceptions. He didn't get many interceptions in South Carolina either. But that's because you don't throw to J.C. Horn.
Stay away. Stay away from him.
You're going to test Mike Jackson more than you're going to test J.C. Horn, because if you do, you got a greater percentage that you're going to lose that battle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what wide receiver you put on him. You know J.C. Horn, you're not going to test him too often. That dude he's one of the foundational pieces on the team, not just the defense, the team. You could argue he is the face of the defense right now.
Has the potential to be. And I think he will. This, once again, is proven ground. Now, you know, when players get paid, you know how it is. League takes notice and the league looks. They see. Oh, my man got paid. Okay. Let's see what he's got. And sometimes you find out the hard way why he got paid. So I'm hoping that is what happens this year. And I think J.C. Horn has the potential to do that. But we getting to number 1. And what I like about this pick for number one was that they considered the impact this player had when he was there and when he wasn't. Number one player on this Carolina Panthers roster, Derek Brown. Played in one game this year. But when he was gone, the rushing yards against and the most points against in league history, with him not being there. And the fact that he was, just how he can play on that defensive line. Just put him in the interior, put him on the edge, put him at that 7-3 technique. Can't nobody get around him. When you're a defensive tackle or on the D-line and you're making the majority of tackles that linebackers make, I start to wonder. Because your linebackers make most of your stops. It is what it is. Because your line is supposed to clog everything up, keep everything, bounce those running backs out, and the linebackers make plays. Or get that quarterback, wondering where he's going to go with the way that these quarterbacks are made right now. These quarterbacks improvise with their feet. But if you got that quarterback back there that wants to make that throw, Derek Brown is 9 times out of 10 going to either be there or coming. And that's just what he is. I have no problem with him being number one because of how it was broke down with what the Panthers lacked when he was gone. What do you think, man?
Justified. Derek Brown is the best player on this team at the moment. And I say at the moment, that's not a knock on him. He's been phenomenal. And when he went down, it wasn't like a gunshot. That was like a missile for this defense. If Derek Brown goes down, who do you have to game plan against on that defensive line? The only decent player was A'Shawn Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
But no knock on him, he's not on this top 10 list. A'Shawn Robinson is a good player. He can be a great player, but not as the number one defensive tackle. Derek Brown has been one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL, period.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went down, your whole run defense is gone. Now you got to play your second, third options. You got to play people that aren't even on the team because you got to find some way to keep people fresh so that the team doesn't just completely tank. A'Shawn Robinson, he played admirably in in the loss of Derek Brown, but getting Derek Brown back is like a prime free agent. He is going to be that player that you game plan against. Run away from Derek Brown. Let's see if A'Shawn can beat us. Now, A'Shawn can take double teams. Bobby Brown III can take double teams. Derek Brown can take double teams, triple teams. He didn't just get over 100 tackles in one season for no reason. That is your bread and butter player. You put him there, you know you're going to get production out of him. And his production, his presence is going to benefit the linebackers, like you said, in the secondary. They're going to have to be forced to run the ball and risk, getting back to the line of scrimmage a couple yards rather than if I hold on to this ball, I know Derek Brown's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, granted that we have a better defensive line now. Bobby Brown, Derek Brown, Tershawn Ward. We pick your poison. But I guarantee you're not going to pick Derek Brown.
That's the one. That's the one you don't want. You'll take everybody else. It's going to hurt regardless. It's going to hurt regardless. But Because if you got to pick one, it's him. That's the guy, and that is perfectly put because Derek Brown, 100 tackles, and you are an interior lineman. That doesn't happen every year. It does not. I mean, I know that the league has evolved and the league has changed, and the defensive tackle may not be as heavy as he was decades ago, but still, no, you not an interior lineman. No, you don't get that much productivity in the tackle, like at the defensive tackle, or get that many tackles from a defensive tackle. That's not per se his job. That's not his primary job. But if you got a player that can do that, that don't hurt. Not at all.
Right. Derek Brown, not that guy.
Yes.
Derek Brown, you're not playing.
That's something you want. That's something that other teams want right there. That's something that they would pay a pretty penny for. But Carolina's got that. And that is important. But we got our list from 1 to 10. We did it all right here. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being a part of the show. We invite you back next week. We'll be back at it next week. We'll be talking a little something different as the offseason is going. Maybe a little bit of Hurricanes, maybe a bit of Hornets news, but we'll be talking Carolina Panthers football next week. Got a little treat for you next week. But until then, you can now exit the cat cave. You will see more of us next week. We had a great time here. We'll see you back next week for D. White. I'm Shannon Smith. See you next week. Go Panthers. Extended time. That's going to keep us on.
Hey, I'm with it.
Hey, I'm cool with it. But main thing is we got the defense done. Next week is going to be even more fun. So,
It's always fun.
Yep. Think he's going to end this. He ain't forgot us. He forgot us here. Cat cave after hours.
Hey, that sound. You gotta be careful on that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh no, we good. We still good. So
After hours, cat cave.
I'm gonna tell you what. When the season, with the season starting and all that, with the season going on, it might be a little bit afterwards though, for real. Because of course, when we start getting into doing all the games starting up and everything, we'll be doing that.
Oh yeah, I'm completely with it. Definitely. I can talk Panthers all night if you give me the chance.
Oh yeah, we'll get there because we'll be doing the lives after the game and all that. Man, what we'll probably do is we'll probably peace out right here. We'll probably peace out.
You.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Take it easy.
You too.
Mm-hmm.